Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life Wisdom with Ed Langan, the place to come for practical and spiritual growth, learning, understanding, and life wisdom from the guides. Life wisdom is love, inspiration, faith, and empowerment. On this spiritual talk show, we talk about everything from self-love and creating your own reality to quantum physics and what your soul wants you to know. I'm your host, Ed Langan. I am a psychic channel for ascended masters. I'm a life coach. I'm a law of attraction expert and a spiritual teacher. Other than that, I'm just a regular guy, whatever that might be. Welcome. We're glad you're here. On this episode of Life Wisdom, I'm going to talk about creating your life. You are the best biological computer ever made. You're an amazing biological computer, but you're living in the past. And that can make you feel stuck. I'm going to tell you about that, and we're going to work on shifting that and changing that. I'm also going to talk about the law of attraction and talk about how to get into the now, into the moment of now. We're going to do an EFT tapping about letting go of old programming. And then on the second part of the show, I'm going to channel the guides, the ascended masters, and we're going to answer questions for you about law of attraction or about any aspect in your life that you want to talk about. You can post the questions during the live chat, and Marge will send them to me and we'll answer the questions there. Remember, the more focused and the more powerful the question, the more focused and the more powerful the answer from the guides. We would like to thank everybody who is liking and sharing our shows and all of our shows here on Star Nations. We really appreciate it. This is a great resource of wonderful spiritual information, of teachings, of learnings. And as you like it and share it and make comments for all the shows on Star Nations, it makes it much easier for people who are seeking this information to find it. And we really, really appreciate that. So thank you all very much for doing that. We appreciate it. There's lots of really good shows on Star Nations. I don't know if you're familiar. Here's a couple of the ones that I watch all the time. There is Maureen Mann's Angel Therapy Show, which I really like. There's Polly Jo LeBay. She actually has two shows. She has Chakra Sessions and Soul Connection, both of which I also watch. Polly Jo and Maureen are local. They're from Massachusetts. I know them, but they still have great and wonderful shows. I also watch Neshie's show when I can. She does a daily card draw every single day. And she also does a show in the evening called Communications from Home. And a couple of months ago, she actually interviewed me. So that was one of my favorite shows. So anyway, thank you from all of us at Star Nations for liking and sharing our shows. We appreciate it. And as I said, it makes it much easier for people to find that information, for other seekers like ourselves to find that. So we appreciate that. The other thing I'd like to say is if there's anything that you would like me to do a show on, if there's something that you would like to know about from the broad spectrum of quantum physics, law of attraction, life coaching, etc., please message me and we'll see if we can't do a show about that particular subject too. So let me know. All right, let's see who's in the live stream today. Rochelle is there. Good afternoon, Rochelle. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. And Julie Shumway Hill is here. Hi, Julie. Nice to see you too. Glad you're here. And Neshi is here. Hi, Neshi. How are you? Glad you're here. Marge is doing a great job so far. I'm sharing and loving the show. Well, thank you, Neshi. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So that's great. And thank you for everybody who's viewing is here. Maureen is here. Hi, Maureen. Liked and shared. I appreciate that, Maureen. And we have a real juicy question from Maureen. And Marie is here. Shared. Thank you, Marie. I appreciate that. We appreciate that you're here. Thank you. As I was saying, Maureen has a real juicy question for the guides. So they've been they've been chomping at the bit to answer that. And Neshi is saying hi to Marge. Marge is producing my show. Marge is my wife. You guys will hear me talking about her a lot. and she is in the other room, in the control room there, and I'm here doing the show. All right. Let's start with these. Have you heard of any of these before? And we're going to talk about creating your life. Birds of a feather flock together. What comes around goes around. As you sow, so shall you reap. They're all in the same boat. It takes one to know one. It's a small world. You ever heard of any of those? Those are all talking about the law of attraction. Yet, they weren't specifically saying the law of attraction, but from those, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, man has known about the law of attraction for a really, really long time. And the thing is, we just started calling it the law of attraction probably in the early 1900s, probably around 1910, 1920 is when they started calling it the law of attraction. But it had been around for years and years before that, for the beginning of time, actually. The law of attraction is this. This is our definition for the law of attraction. Things that are similar or the same are attracted to each other. The law of attraction is a building law. It's a foundation law of the universe. And what it does is it takes things that are similar or the same and brings them together and starts building, starts creating, starts bringing it together, and starts an energy vortex flowing, which eventually will manifest. Now, this is one of my favorite law of attraction stories because there's nobody that this hasn't happened to. All right. You're thinking about your friend. You're thinking about your friend. You're thinking about your friend. Your phone rings. Oh, look, it's my friend. Of course it is. You attracted that. You created that. Now, if there's some younger folks out there, maybe they text, maybe they send you an Instagram or something like, or Facebook, whatever. But for those of us who are a little bit older, they call on the phone. That has happened to everybody. There's nobody that hasn't happened to. And that's the law of attraction. And that's a simple explanation of the law of attraction. Here's something. You are co-creating your life all the time. Whatever you're focused on, whatever you're thinking about, you're attracting into your experience. Now, here's the tricky part, and this is the part that some people aren't crazy about when they first hear it, but it's something that you need to know. You are manifesting 100% of the time. Think about that. You're manifesting 100% of the time. So when we teach the workshops and we're teaching people, we teach the law of attraction workshop and they come and they want to learn how to manifest this or how to manifest that. And then when we tell them they're manifesting 100% of the time, not just when they manifest this wonderful thing or not just when the things that they want manifest into their experience, but the entire time they're like, ooh. So it's a little bit of a surprise there, but you are manifesting 100% of the time. You're co-creating with the universe. We're going to talk about changing your programming. We're going to talk about living in the past. We're going to talk about getting into the now. But the first part, the first understanding is that law of attraction is that you are creating your own reality and that you're creating all of the time. The thing about law of attraction is you have to hold a thought for 17 seconds before the law of attraction gets a hold of the thought and brings another thought that's similar or the same to it. And then the two of them start to coalesce. And then that begins the vortex. That begins the beginning of manifestation. So you do have a little bit of a buffer of time. But it does take 17 seconds before another thought joins it. And if you can hold a thought for a minute or 2 minutes or longer, you'll be able to create the vortex stronger. Now, I have a funny feeling, I have a hunch, and I might be psychic, that when I answer Maureen's question a little bit later, we're going to do something called a vibrational booster to show you exactly how to hold a thought for longer than 17 seconds. So you might want to stick around for that. Good. Here is a big question that has an effect on what we're talking about, and it actually has an effect on every aspect of your life. The question is this: do you believe everything is all right? Think about that for a second. Do you believe that everything is all right? There's nothing in your life that doesn't affect. How you look at things is affected by whether you believe everything is all right or not. The other thing that happens that is affected from that is that directly affects your health. Because if you believe that everything is not all right, your body is always going to be in a stressful state. You're always going to be in fight or flight, which causes cortisol and adrenaline to flow into your body, which eventually wears out your body and can make you sick. So if you're always a little bit on edge, and if you're always believing that everything is not all right, that has a big effect. The other thing is, it's also about your expectations. If you don't believe that everything is all right, how can you possibly believe that everything's going to work out for you? How can you believe that everything's going to be okay? It's a really, really big question. It's an important question, and it's not one that's asked very often. Now, a little bit later in the show, we're going to talk about your programming and how this was potentially programmed into you. And we're going to talk about how you can shift and change that programming. We're going to start with an EFT tapping, and we're going to do another thing also to help you do that. So we're going to talk about that. Good. All right. I think that's good. So here's another big question for you. You ready? What organ in your body uses the most energy? And I'm going to wait a second here and let you guys type in your answers and send them in, and Marge will put them up. So what organ in your body uses the most energy? And while we're waiting to have some comments there, it takes a minute to get to Be Live TV, to get to Facebook, to get to Marge's computer, to get to my computer. But what do you think? What organ in your body uses the most energy? And while we're waiting, I want to remind you that Marjorie and I started a meditation and prayer group that we do. What we do is once a month for 10 minutes, we meditate together for the betterment of the planet, for, I'm drawing a blank, for love, peace, harmony, and healing. That's what we do it for. We meditate for 10 minutes, and the information is on my Facebook post, my Facebook page, if you'd like to join us and help us out there. We do it together, and there's power in all people meditating together, and that's part of it. Neshi was the first one with the comment, and her comment is correct. The organ that uses the most energy in your body is your brain. Very good, Neshi. Congratulations. You knew that. That's terrific. Your brain uses the most energy. A lot of people say your heart, but actually it's your brain. Now, the interesting thing about your brain is your brain knows that it uses the most energy. So your brain likes to keep you thinking down the same neural pathways that you are used to thinking. Because when you're creating a new neural pathway, it takes energy. It takes more energy. It takes more focus. And your brain is always conserving your energy. That's why it's easier to think thoughts that you've already thought. That's how you get stuck in your programming. That's part of the way. So when you start creating a new neural pathway, it's like hacking a path through the forest. And you're literally creating, when you stop and you think, and there's the silence, there's the the moment where you're going, and you're trying to think and you're trying to figure it out. That's the energy. That's your brain using energy, actually hacking a path down the forest. And as you think the thought, it becomes easier and easier for the energy to flow down that neural pathway. And eventually it becomes a superhighway, and it takes very, very little energy for you to think that. And your brain flows down that neural pathway all the time. And that's when people start feeling like they're stuck. And that's when people start feeling like they're in a rut, or that it's always the same thing. Everything is always the same. Well, part of that is that you're living in the past because all of your neural pathways have been created in the past, and your brain likes to save energy by thinking you down the same neural pathways. So that's part of what we're saying is when we say that your programming is in the past, that's what we mean. All right? To change your life experience, you have to change your neural pathways. The second part of this that we want to talk about is your programming. Now, your programming is your subconscious mind, and that is also part of the past. So your neural pathways, your brain, this amazing computer that you are the best biological computer ever made. The man-made computers come nowhere near as good as you are. You are the most amazing computer there is. The processing power in your brain is unmatched. The thing is, all of your neural pathways have already been created. So everything is in the past. Just like if you look around, everything that you see around you, your computer, your phone, your car, all of that is also in the past, because that has all already manifested. So you're not in now, you're slightly in the past. The next part is your subconscious mind and your programming. When you were a baby from age birth till 7, you are a sponge. You are mimicking and learning from everything around you, from the people that raised you, from the society, from your siblings, from school, you're soaking everything in. Your brain is wide open and you're soaking it in, and you're mimicking everything, and that becomes your subconscious. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's not only what people say to you, but it's their vibration. Everything is vibration. So you're absorbing the vibration also, and that becomes your programming. That becomes your subconscious mind. So the interesting thing when you're talking about the neural pathways where you have the superhighway, that's more down in a subconscious level, because you don't even think about those thoughts anymore. They flow right through. They're in your subconscious. Have you thought about when you were learning how to drive? Right? You start the car, make sure your foot's on the brake, and there was all kind of, I do it so naturally now, I can't even remember when I was learning, but when you were learning, there was all kinds of steps that you had to go through, that you had to learn how to drive, and then it became unconscious. It became part of your subconscious, and you didn't need to think about it anymore. So there's two things. There's your neural pathways, which are in the past, and then there's your programming. And we're going to work on an EFT tapping to change your programming, to start releasing some of those old beliefs. And we're going to tell you another way that you can also start to change your beliefs. Okay, good. To get into the now, one of the best ways to get into the now, to be in the now, is to breathe. So take a deep breath and exhale, and that puts you into the now. That grounds you into your body. That gets you back into the now. So that's a real simple way for you to remember when you're in the middle of everything, running errands, doing this and everything. It's easy to get lost. Remember to breathe, and that brings you back into the now. One of the other things that we want to mention is, if you're feeling depressed, you're too far into the past. And if you're feeling anxious, you're too far into the future. So bring yourself back into the now. You bring yourself back into the now by breathing. Other good ways to bring yourself into the now is to eat something, but eat in a focused manner. There's a lot of unconscious eating. We're talking about eat in a focused manner. Both of those things bring you back into the now. Good. All right. So your neural pathways are in the past. Your programming is in the past from when you were a child. So how do you start shifting and changing your program? The way you do it, one of the ways you do it, is through EFT tapping. I'm going to put that right up there. Good. And we're going to do an EFT tapping script for letting go of old programming. And yes, I did. I heard you all last time that I was way too fast. So I'm going to slow down. Marge is also going to post it up on the screen there. So you'll be able to see at least some of it to follow along. And it will be in the comments immediately after the show. I'll make sure I share them and put them in so that you guys can get the script if you want it and continue to do that. All right. So the tapping points, so that you remember, and I'm going to take off my glasses for a second here. It starts with the karate chop, which is right here, this part of your hand, and that's where we're going to start. And then the next point is right where your eyebrow begins, right there. The next point is the side of the eye, right there. And when we're tapping by our eyes, we're very, very gentle. The next point is right underneath your eye, right underneath the pupil. The next one is the middle of your upper lip, right there. The fold of your chin, right there. Your collarbone, you're supposed to go down an inch and out an inch. What I do is I have a big hand. I just go like this, okay? And then the next one is your wrist, which is 3 fingers down. So again, just tap with the whole side of your wrist right there, just like that. And then the last one is the top of your head. Just use your hand and tap the whole top of your head like that. Okay. So we start off with a negative round to stir the energy up, to get the energy a little bit riled up, and then we move it out. And we start with the karate chop, and we say a statement 3 different times on the karate chop before we move into the rest of the tapping. All right. So we're going to start with the karate chop, and I'm going to do my best to go slow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it first, and then you guys will repeat it. I'll say it again, and we'll repeat it together, and I'll say it slow. So even though I am living the programming of my old beliefs, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And now all of us together. Even though I am living the programming of my old beliefs, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Still karate chop. Here's the next one. Even though I am living my old patterns, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. All together. Even though I am living my old patterns, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Next one. Even though I am living in the past, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And all together. Even though I am living in the past, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So now we're going to start to go through the tapping points. So we're going to start with the eyebrow. And here we go. I have been taught things that are not true. All of us together. I have been taught things that are not true. Side of the eye. I have been taught things that are not helpful. I have been taught things that are not helpful. I have believed false premises. I have believed false premises, right under the nose. I have been misinformed. I have been misinformed. Chin point right here. I have been taught to fear many things. I have been taught to fear many things. Collarbone. I have been taught to play small. I have been taught to play small. wrist. Right here. Here we go. I have been taught to go along with what others think. I have been taught to go along with what others think. Top of the head. I have been programmed by false beliefs. I have been programmed by false beliefs. Perfect. Take a deep breath. Exhale. All right, now we're going to do positive round. So once again, we start with the karate chop, and we're going to say, I am willing and ready to release my old beliefs, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am willing and ready to release my old beliefs, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am willing and ready to release my old programming, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am ready and willing to release my old programming, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And there'll be one more. I'm just going to turn the page. There we go. Karate chop. I am willing and ready to release my old programming that is no longer serving me, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am ready and willing to release any old programming that is no longer serving me, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. All right, eyebrow. I can change my programming. I can change my programming. Side of the eye. Old patterns and beliefs are not facts. Old patterns and beliefs are not facts. Under your eye. I want new beliefs that serve me. I want new beliefs that serve me. Under the nose. I can change my focus. I can change my focus. Chin. I have control over my thoughts. I have control over my thoughts. Wrist. I am letting go of false beliefs and old programming. I am letting go of false beliefs and old programming. Top of the head. I am shifting my energy. I am shifting my energy. Take a deep breath. Good. Hopefully I'm going slow enough for everybody to follow along. We're going to do the karate chop. We're going to do one more positive round. Here we go. I am willing and ready to release my old programming, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am willing and ready to release my old programming, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am ready and willing to release my old beliefs, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am willing and ready to release my old beliefs, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. One more. I am ready and willing to release any old programming that is no longer serving me, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am willing and ready to release any old programming that is no longer serving me, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Eyebrow. I get to choose what works for me. I get to choose what works for me. Side of the eye. It's time for me to release these old patterns and shift my energy. It's time for me to release these old patterns and shift my energy. Under the eye. I am creating my experiences. I am creating my experiences. Under the nose. I can control what I focus on. I can control what I focus on. Chin. I am releasing old thought habits. I am releasing old thought habits. collarbone. I am now releasing old belief habits. I am now releasing old belief habits. Wrist. I am now releasing all of my old programming that no longer serves me. I am now releasing all my old programming that no longer serves me. And top of the head. I have decided to create new programming that serves me now. I have decided to create new programming that serves me now. Take a deep breath. Excellent. Very good. Pull that off the computer there. So that begins to loosen up your old programming, your old beliefs, your subconscious mind, and then there are new beliefs that you can put in. So one of the ways that helps us reprogram is by repetition. Remember when you were learning your multiplication tables, you learn by sort of making it a song and going over it and going over it and going over it. So I have a list of new programming affirmations, and they're actually really short and really simple and easy to remember. And they're things that you probably weren't told as a kid. And that's really important that you start to reprogram. So by doing the tapping, by putting in new affirmations, etc., that will really make a difference. Neshi has a wonderful comment. Man, that was good. Great tapping. Thank you, Ed. You're welcome, Neshi. Happy to do it. So let's see if anybody else has any comments on the tapping. I have 3 hearts from Pat McDonald. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys like this. I really like the tapping too. Marie says that was great. Does it matter which side of the body? Excellent question. When you're doing and it could be on either side, it doesn't matter, and you don't have to tap both points. Just either side, doesn't matter, whichever is the most comfortable for you. Either side works. Great question. Thank you, Marie. All right. Marge is doing a great job, as always, getting the comments up there and flying the plane, as it were. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Marge. And we have another, I believe it's Lonnie, and it says grateful. Well, thank you, Lonnie. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I hope you're saying that your name right. Perfect. Thank you. Excellent. So, and Kimberly Griffiths. Grateful. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. I'm glad. Excellent. Excellent. And as I said, this will be in the comments very shortly after the show is done. We'll put these in so that you guys can get them. So if you want to print this and continue to use it, it will be there for you. So perfect. All right. So here are the new programming affirmations that will also help. And it's a matter of just picking one. And what we like to do is the way we do it is there's something called think a new thought on the hour. And when you get up in the morning, you pick a time. So let's say you pick right on the hour. You say, on the hour, and you say your affirmation for the day. So at 8 a.m., you say, I'm enough. And then at 9 a.m., you say, I'm enough. And at 10 a.m., you're on a conference call, you forget, that's fine. At 11 a.m., when you remember, you say it again, on through the day. And that begins to start creating new neural pathways. That begins to start reprogramming your subconscious. So here are the new programming affirmations for you. The first one is, I am enough. The second one is, I am worthy. I am valuable. I am lovable. I love myself enough to put me first. I choose to be kind. I matter. I love me. I choose to be kind to myself. I know that mistakes are normal and how I learn. Failing leads to success. Failing leads to succeeding. I will keep going. I choose to be happy. I am taking care of my body. I am happy. I am abundant. Success and failure are part of life and nothing to fear. I am whole and I am thriving. So all of those will also be out there for you guys to use afterwards to help you start reprogramming. Excellent. Good. All right. Let's see if there are any other questions or comments before we move on to the next thing. I also want to remind you that there are lots of great shows on Star Nations. And if you're just joining, I am Ed Langan. I'm the host of Life Wisdom with Ed Langan, and that's what you're watching. And liking and sharing the shows helps lots of other people find them. There's a wonderful show by Julie Hedges, The Tarot Journey is another good one. So there's lots of wonderful shows. Check it out. Check out Star Nations. There is also Star Nations Magazine, wonderful magazine, which you can also check out if you guys aren't familiar with it. All right, and it doesn't seem like there are any new comments or questions coming up at the moment, so I'm going to continue. We have questions for the guides. And I just want to give you a couple of guidelines so that you understand. The guides can be very direct and sometimes they're blunt. It always comes from a place of love, and that's just the way they come through me. They're always here for your highest and best, and they want to help you. The more focused and powerful the question is, the more focused and powerful the answer is. Remember, this is a public forum. We don't want to, put anybody's laundry out on display. So keep that in mind. Sometimes my voice changes when the guides speak through me. You always have free will, and that's really important. They want you to know that. And then this was something that they really wanted me to say and make sure you understand. The guides are going to give you what you need, not necessarily what you want. So just keep that in mind. All right. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to put my glasses back on. Oh, there you are. I can see you all again. There you go. All right. So I do have a couple questions that were sent in ahead of time. The first one is from Polly Joe, and Polly Joe would like any information about her school moving to Maine that may come through. So let's see what we're getting here for Polly Joe. Well, we're definitely seeing a brick building, a big brick building, sort of a federal style. And we do see it near the river. It might not be exactly on the river, on the water, but we do see it very near there. The other thing that we're feeling for you is we see lots and lots of students and lots of happy people coming, and we hear lots of local people saying to you, we needed something like this for a really long time, and we're really glad you're here, and it's about time you got here, and where you've been, and things like that. So we see that. We see it being successful. We see a lot of the local people also getting involved, which is good. We feel something that might be a bit of a delay, but in reality, it's not a delay. It turns out to be a good thing, but the timing of it, you may find it as a little bit of a delay, like, oh, what's going on? And it's going to have something work out better in the long run. So there's a little bit of a delay that's actually not a delay that turns out to be a good thing. So that's a really good thing. The other thing that we want to say to you is what we said to you last month also. We do feel some sort of energy shift for you right around the equinox. So we don't know if you're if there's an upgrade or an energy, so there's something right around the equinox for you. We feel like it's an upgrade. So we feel that's coming. So that's some information for Polly Joe. And I hope that helps. Maureen sent in a great question that the guides have been chomping at the bit to answer here. And the question is how to discern when to act to manifest and when to pause and allow. And that is a great question. It's a great question for law of attraction. And when we let people know, Marge and I, when we let them know that we teach law of attraction, we get a few different responses. And one of the responses we get is, oh, that's that dating thing. And no, it's not. It's not a dating thing. And then we occasionally get people who say that doesn't work. And if they say that that doesn't work, I know exactly what they're doing wrong. They're trying. When you're manifesting something, think about it. If you're trying to manifest it, do you have it? And the answer is no, because if you had it, you wouldn't be trying to manifest it. Now, the thing is, when you're trying to manifest something, you're sending the vibration out there of, I don't have this, and the universe matches the vibration of, I don't have this. Now, a lot of people don't like that, and they go, oh, because if I had it, then I wouldn't. And so you mean to say to me that I have to believe it before I see it for it to manifest? And we say, yes, that's exactly what we're saying to you. If you have to see it first, it's going to be a really long wait, because it can't manifest till you're a match to it, to having it. So the question is if you are doing something to manifest, and then you're doing something to allow the manifestation, when you're allowing, but when you're manifesting, you're trying, and you may not be a match to what you want. The key to this is to understanding alignment and feeling your alignment. How do you feel your alignment? You feel your alignment literally by how it feels. When you feel good, your energy is flowing, you're wide open, you're connected, and you're allowing everything into your experience. When you don't feel good, you've disconnected yourself, and disconnected is the wrong word because you really can't get away from yourself, but there's a tension, you're sort of pulling away, and you're not allowing your energy to flow. The way I explain it in the workshops is this: what does anger feel like? When you feel angry, you feel bottled up, and you feel like you're going to explode, and you can literally feel that you're not letting your energy flow. Now think about it. Think about when you feel angry. You're literally not letting your energy flow. That's why you feel bottled up, like you're going to explode. And when you feel good, you're letting your energy to flow, and everything that you want is easily flowing to you and coming to you. So, how do you do both? How do you allow and manifest at the same time? And that's an interesting thing. And what you do is you do something that we refer to as a vibrational booster. And you remember earlier in the show, I said there's a way to hold the thought for 17 seconds. And this is the way you do it. You do what we refer to as a vibrational booster. So I want you to just relax with us for a second and listen to this. I want you to think about being at the beach. And I want you to walk out onto the sand and feel the sand under your toes. And it's early in the morning, and the sand is surprisingly cool and makes a whooshing sound as you walk on it. And then as you walk down the beach to where the surf has packed down the sand, it's a little bit easier to walk. And you look up and down the beach, and you decide to walk this way up the beach with the wind at your back. And I love the sound of the surf. I love hearing the sound of the surf. It's always louder than I expect, which surprises me. And I love walking and splashing in the water and feeling the cold water run up against my feet and then go tearing back down to the sea. As a matter of fact, I turn and I stand and I let the waves come over my feet. And I love the feeling of the water going back out, and I sink into the sand, and I sink deeper and deeper with each wave. I love the way that feels. I love the smell of the surf. I love the sound of the seagulls flying by. I love being out here. I love the feel of the breeze, the feel of the sun. I love the smell of the suntan lotion. I like walking along and looking over and seeing all the diamonds of golden light dancing on top of the surf there. I just love it. It fills my heart with joy. It makes me happy. I love walking along and looking for sand dollars or looking for heart-shaped rocks. There's one right down there, and I bend and pick it up, and I like the sound of it plunking in the pail as I walk along. Right now, Are you all on the beach with us? And the answer is yes, you are. If you went along with that and thought about that, you're all on the beach with us. And as you do that, that was easily longer than 17 seconds. We weren't trying to get on the beach. We were already there. So we were telling the story from I already have this. And it was a fun story. So we were allowing and manifesting at the same time. Because as you tell the story of the beach, you're eventually going to end up on the beach. So you're manifesting and you're allowing. So whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest in your experience, that's one of the ways to do it. Tell yourself the story of it from the place of I already have this. So if you want a new car, put yourself in the new car and tell the story of driving the new car. What does it smell like? What does it feel like? What is it? If you want to be in a new school, like Polly Jo does, tell the story of being in the new school. We can see the school. Polly Jo can see it in her mind too. We can see it. We can see standing in it. We can feel the space. We can see the windows. We can see the view. We can feel the energy of it. That's the key. That's the way to do it, so that you're not, okay, now I'm manifesting, now I'm allowing. Because that's just, because a lot of people, as we said, when they're trying to manifest, they're trying, and then that's not actually allowing. So hopefully that answered your question, Maureen, and the guides were very, very happy to answer that. And I have another question here, all right, from Lanny Ford. Healing from trauma with a shattered soul. What do I need to know for my highest and greatest good, please? All right, excellent. Thank you. Well, the first thing that they want to say to you, that the guides want to say to you, is they want you to know that you are loved and that you are cared for and that you are valuable and important. And the trauma that you went through will help you become more of the spiritual person that you are, the better person that you are, the more loving person that you are. It will help open your heart. Now, it may not feel that way right now, because when you're dealing with trauma and going through trauma or in the middle of trauma, it sucks. And we're not saying that it doesn't. But what we're saying is, in the long run, this is going to open your heart. This is going to open your spirit. This is going to be a turning point for you that makes a difference. So what do you do? The thing that we would like you to do, and again, we remind you, we love you, and you are loved, and you are surrounded by love. Your guides are with you. Your angels are there. Some of your relatives are there, and they're all around you, hugging you, letting you know that you are loved. And that's what they want you to feel and understand. And then we want you to start working on yourself. Start working on making yourself feel better from the inside. Take care of yourself. Do what you need to do to nurture you. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to meditate, whatever, but make sure that you're nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself and putting yourself first. Some of what caused what you're dealing with is your old programming, and some of it is an agreement that you made with another person before you incarnated as something for the two of you to learn and grow through. And that's what's happening here. But we really, the big message that we want to relate to you and make sure that you understand is that you are loved, and you're surrounded by love. You're surrounded by loving beings, whether you can see them or not. We don't know. If you can see them, you may see some flashes and some energy, but they're around. And when you're feeling like you're having some difficulty or some trouble, call them in, ask for them. If in your mind, or say it out loud, come in, help me, I need to feel better, help me do that. And they will. We know things will get better for you. It is going to take a little while, but trust, and it is going to get better. So thank you. Thank you for that wonderful question. Okay, here's a question from Anne. How can I go forward with a relationship with my distant daughter? Excellent. Wonderful question, Anne. Thank you. So we're talking about the law of attraction. We're talking about using your mind. We're talking about focus. And what we would like you to do is use your thoughts to flow the energy forward of how you would like your relationship with your daughter to be. Never mind how it is now. Hold the vision in your mind. If there was a time when the two of you were together and connected and close and everything, hold that vision, tell that story, continue to flow that energy. Or if that wasn't the case, then you need to sort of create it from scratch and tell it new from there. And start telling the story of the two of you getting along. Start focusing on the positive things about her. Start focusing on what you like about her. Tell the story of the two of you being connected, doing things together, and allow that to become the energy, and that will move forward, and that will help fix that. Eventually, that will manifest in your experience as you continue to focus and do that. Excellent. Thank you very much. And here is a question from Pauline. Any guidance about a change of job for me, please? Okay, let's see what we have here. The way you determine whether anything, a new job or anything like that, is going to work for you is you feel the energy of it. So you start by talking about the new job, telling about the new job, telling what it is, start telling the story of it, and literally sort of put the energy on, take the energy on, start feeling the energy, start feeling what it feels like to do it, and then check and see how it feels here. And then with any other situation, a different job, the old job, again, try it on, see how it feels, and then you'll know which is better. We do feel a change for you. We do feel that there's something coming up, that there is going to be a change. Now, we want you to understand that you have free will and you have the right to say no and you have the right to change your mind. But the energy of right now is, yes, we do feel that there is a change for you, and we feel that it's a movement in the right direction, but you're the one who needs to feel that and know that. It has to feel right to you. If it doesn't feel right to you, then we advise you not to do it. But we do feel a shift in that. Hopefully that was clear and that we answered your question for you. And here's a question from Julie. Julie, thank you. Any information about selling my house and finding a new place to live? Yes. It feels like within the next couple of months. So it feels relatively soon. And the way to expedite that, and again, is to use, and this is great because we're talking about law of attraction today, is a lot of people, when they're selling their house, they see it as something that they don't need anymore, and it's kind of tired and it's kind of old, and then, we're happy to leave this behind and go. And what we would like you to do is hold the energy of where you live the way it was when you first moved in, when you were excited about it, when it was such a wonderful place, when this was good and that was good and this is perfect for us and everything else, and hold that energy and let that be the focus. Tell the story of how good it will be for the new people who come and buy it, and tell the story of how much fun it is and how much they'll enjoy being here, and tell that story, and then do the same thing for where you're going. You don't need to see the place yet, but start telling the story of how it is. What is the kitchen like? What is the bedroom like? How does it feel? What does it smell like? What is it like to be in there? Is it comfortable? Is it cozy? And that way you're using the law of attraction, you're using your focus, you're using the energy on both ends, and that will help you expedite that and move that along quickly. We do feel it is a couple of months away, but we feel the spring is a really good time and for that movement. So thank you, Julie. We appreciate that. All right. Kimberly, I'm very grateful for the gifts I'm receiving, and I feel I should go on a spiritual retreat to enhance my intuition, etc., for the highest and good. Which retreat would best serve my path? Please. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. you're definitely on your spiritual path. You are getting more connected. Your gifts are opening. And what we would like you to do is we would like you to feel the energy of each receipt. So this is each retreat. So this is very similar to the job answer we gave. Put on the energy of the retreat and see how it feels, and put on the energy of the other retreat and see how it feels. And one of them is going to make your heart sing, and you're going to know in the inside of your being, it's going to resonate with you, and you're going to say, this is the right one. This is the one I'm supposed to do. And you will easily be able to tell the difference. Continue to do all the wonderful things that you're doing. Continue with your meditation and all the other beautiful things that you're doing that is enhancing your intuition and opening you up. The other thing is, we don't know if you're using a pendulum yet. You can try a pendulum and see what answers you get about the retreats using a pendulum, and start doing that. But you will feel, it will resonate clearly within you. This is the appropriate retreat for me. And there's a couple of them in the beginning, and then there's going to be sort of a regrouping, sort of a meditation, sort of a getting yourself back together and everything, and then there'll be more movement forward. But there'll be a sort of a couple of them first, and then there'll be a shift. Your energy is also very much about to shift around the equinox. So there's a change in your energy coming too. Excellent. Okay. Good. Marge is giving me the high sign. All right. Excellent. Marie, I do many different meditations to find my soul's path and finding my gifts. Which or what kind of meditation is best for me? Interesting. Okay. That's a great question. Thank you, Marie. We do different meditations also, because meditation is, there are different meditations to do for, well, first of all, so you don't get bored. So sometimes we use, Ed will use music. He'll do the brainwave meditations, the alpha focus, the theta focus, things like that. He'll occasionally do guided meditations. By the way, if you go to our website, edwardlangan.com, if you go to the gifts page, there are 2 free download meditations there and 2 free vibrational boosters that you guys can download. They're completely free if you're interested. So we like to sort of mix up the meditations and do different meditations. We'll also do a breathing meditation. We'll also do a grounding meditation. There's not, this is one of the things that we really like this question for, and want to let you know. There are not things that are better than other things. There are not things that are going to speed you along your path. There are not things that are going to move you forward. There are things that resonate and things that don't. The idea of which are the best, which is sort of the hurry to get on with it so that I can get to where I need to be. And we want you to just relax and feel the ones that resonate with you and be open. When you ask the question, new experiences, new meditations are going to come into your experience, and you're going to find a few new ones that will be your favorites. But we advise that you sort of mix it up and keep a few, so that way it's always sort of fresh and always new for you. Excellent. Good. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for all the wonderful questions. I think we're just about out of time. Marjorie was giving me the high sign a couple minutes ago. And there was a thank you from, I believe that was Jackie. It was on there very quick. You're welcome. Thank you all. I really appreciate that. It was a wonderful show. Pauline Bryan, thank you so much. We'll follow your advice. Blessings. Thank you, Pauline. I appreciate that. The guides appreciate that. There is great love for all of you when the guides flow through. Not that Marge and I don't love you also, but you know what I mean. And I think that's good. Lanny, thank you. Many blessings to you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. So we will see you next month. If you have any subjects that you would like us to do a show about, please let me know in the comments. And I think we're just about done. Remember to like and share it. We appreciate that. Thank you. And everybody at Star Nations, we all really love and appreciate that. We love you guys. And with that, I'm going to say light and love, and we'll see you next month.